Tonight, a special report. When the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School happened, how did you explain it to your kids? Litsa Pappas sat down with a group of kids, all from different schools in the valley, to find out what they know about it and how they see violence.
I met with kids in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades from Harrisonburg and Rockingham County. I asked them lots of questions about violence and Sandy Hook, and what they said may surprise you. The shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary shocked everyone. That tragedy has now started a national conversation on violence. But how much do children understand from it all? I sat down with a group of young kids to find out. Have any of you heard of Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut?
There's a guy who went into a school who had mental issues. He had some mental problems and he wasn't really a people person. He shot some kids and a teacher and a principal.
At the young ages of 7 to 10 years old, they knew lots of details that were difficult for their parents to explain to them.
It was just, we were kind of at a loss for words. We didn't understand it any more than they did, and so how do you explain it to a child who you want to protect their innocence?
Some parents didn't explain it at all.
Julie and I did not have that conversation because I don't think she needs to know.
So how do you explain something so tragic and violent to kids? April Howard is the psychologist for Harrisonburg schools. She says for younger kids, use the most simple terms possible.
Please be a good listener and listen to what the children have to say and then answer the questions.
That's what these parents did, but some of the questions weren't so easy.
And the one I got stuck on was why. And I sat there. And so that's when I tried to get into, well, some people are, how people get sick with their bodies. Yes, well, some people have sickness in their head.
No matter how difficult it is, Howard says parents should find the time to talk about this because kids will find out regardless. How did you guys find out about all that stuff?
None of us knew in the school. I mean, I'm sure the teachers knew, but they didn't tell the kids.
That didn't stop them from finding out.
I was watching CNN that was behind me, and my dad told me not to watch it. And then later that night on my iPod, I found out about it.
Plus, after the shooting at Sandy Hook, these kids started to notice some changes at school.
Our school now has a doorbell, and all the doors are locked. Now we have a greeter at our door.
All changes to keep them safe. They told me they now do more intruder safety drills too.
Our room was like this, and the door's right here, so we hide right here. And turn off all the lights, and we go inside the bathroom and duck our heads on the side of the wall.
Do you know why you do that?
In case someone who isn't a parent or something comes into the school with a weapon and tries to do something violent to the kids.
I asked them some other big questions to find out what they understand about violence. Depending on their ages, their answers were different. Why do you guys think people use guns?
I understand, for safety, if someone was about to hurt you with a gun, it would be okay to have one, or for hunting, but you just shouldn't have a gun if you're a person that wants to kill other people.
The younger ones, who are just 7 years old, had a different idea.
Sometimes when people are really mad, they try to kill the other people who they're fighting with. Well, I wrote a note because I was super mad at my sister. I said, I'll kill you by shooting your head off.
So you were just joking to your sister when you said that in the note, though?
No, I kind of really meant it that time.
Some of the parents were surprised by what their kids knew and didn't know.
Oh, wow.
That's why Howard says adults should talk to kids about violence.
Violence is not a way to handle personal problems. I think that is key for us to send that message to our children and to learn constructive ways to deal with anger.
Howard says making sure kids feel safe at home and school is most important. Are you guys ever afraid at school?
Mm-mm.
The answer all around was no. These kids feel safe at school. So Mel, I found out that a lot of teachers and parents in the Valley did not explain Sandy Hook to their kids just because it was so difficult. That's why Howard says adults should talk to kids about violence so that they can explain to them how to deal with it.
No matter how old they are.
No matter how old they are, she says it doesn't depend on their age, it depends on the child, because every child has a different perception of things. That, you know, some children are a little bit more advanced depending on their age. So you really just have to know your child, and she says it's better to tell them yourself so you can explain it, because, you know, if they go to school, honestly, they're going to find out about it. You saw all the ways they found out about it. And she says if you have any trouble discussing this with your kids, there are plenty of counselors at all of the schools that can help you out.
Great report. Thank you, Litsa.